So that moves us into our second topic of the day, which is kind of our bread and butter here at Amiibo News, which is Amiibo topics.
Yay.
You would think at some point we would run out of Amiibo topics, but the good folks at Nintendo always seem to just funnel more and more interesting new developments our way.
We are on our feet every day of the week.
100% of the time.
Trying to keep track of all the news that's coming in.
24/7, that's where we be.
Yes.
We're in the thick of it, so you don't have to be. No thanks necessary. It's what we do.
Well, little thanks every now and then doesn't hurt.
I guess so.
A little thanks.
Just a little.
Just kidding.
But we have some interesting news. We got some information not too long ago that Toys R Us was getting restocks of Lucario and King Dedede in their stores.
Yes.
Which a lot of people were like, well, whatever, it's just like a photograph that somebody took at like a distribution center. And then lo and behold, like 2 days later, somebody snaps a photo in their Toys R Us and there's rows and rows and rows of Lucario and like 5 or 6 Dedede. But people were freaking out. They're like, I can't believe this. It seemed like it was kind of centralized in Kansas for the Lucario and the Dededes because it never popped up anywhere else.
That's very strange. Maybe it's kind of like a testing area for
Could be.
now. They'll see how well it does, if
Yeah.
it gets out there, and if it does well enough, which I can't imagine it not, then maybe we'll see it spread to other territories in the United States.
This is what I heard, and hopefully there's some merit to this. So somebody at that Toys R Us reached out and said that their manager was very close to one of the district warehouses and special ordered those in. Oh. However, the rumor is at this point is a majority of those in other stores are going to show up on shelves on the 29th.
That's really interesting.
So on Black Amiibo Friday.
Wow. Okay, so if we have to, dread anything else to add to all of the things that we're going to have to focus on the 29th, there is another piece of Amiibo news.
So we've heard that it's 1 per customer on the 29th at Toys R Us, so hopefully that's going to be the same thing with Lucario and Dedede. I'm hoping that because it's an exclusive with Lucario, it's going to be in decent supply, but it seems like that's going to be the case.
I think so. I mean, any type of reprint, I'm thinking, or not even reprint really, but it's just a resupply. I think that we'll see maybe larger numbers. The fact that they're just coming out with more anyway, it's a good sign.
And it doesn't stop with Toys R Us.
No.
So there was a whole lot of rumors not too long ago. I think they started coming out about a week and a half ago that Meta Knight was showing back up at distribution centers like in the thousands. One district had like 5,000 Meta Knights sitting in their warehouse. I think it was 5,200 something. And that was one district.
Wow.
So people were wondering, what's going to happen with these? So we have all these Meta Knights just kind of sitting there. And, they're not popping up really anywhere at this point. So again, we had a contact reach out to us and they told us that, again, they were going to be launching these on the 29th. So again, Black Amiibo Friday. Get yourself ready.
Keep that day in mind.
Yeah, for sure. So not only do we have Toys R Us with Lucario, we have Best Buy with Meta Knight supposedly in very, very good supply on the 29th.
That really gives me hope for other rare Amiibo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one day we could possibly see Rosalina pop up on more Target shelves.
Funny you mentioned that.
Really?
So we were wondering if Rosalina was going to follow the same kind of thing that we were seeing with the other retail exclusives. Unfortunately not. So I started looking into this. I started reaching out to some Target employees to see if there was any merit to maybe Rosalina coming back in stores. But it seems like the retail exclusives stop with Meta Knight and Lucario. So unfortunate, but one day.
One day,
maybe one day.
Yes, it's still so early on, so keep that hope alive.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of restocks, too, so there was other Best Buy information that just came out, too, saying Marth was going to be back in stock on the 29th, too. Okay. And supposedly at Toys R Us, it was going to be back on the 29th, too. So we should expect to hopefully see Marth, Meta Knight, Lucario, King Dedede back in stores on the 29th. So if you are camping out, just be ready to have that extra money in your pocket. Make sure that you call your credit card companies and get your line boosted just a little bit so you can buy some more.
Basically, just be prepared. Go prepared.
So yeah, it's definitely good news. And then the other piece at this point too is on the 29th, we have 2 new retail exclusives coming out. At Toys R Us, we have Greninja. At Target, we have Jigglypuff. Which I think you're excited for Jigglypuff, aren't you?
I am excited. I mean, the fact that he's pink, but also just I have this this attachment to the really early Pokemon.
Oh yeah, 150.
Yes.
Original 150 all the way, by the way.
They're the best in my opinion. I do love some of the new Pokemon, but there's something about those original ones that adds that extra bit of nostalgia.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So Jigglypuff is going to be in Target, and again, we've reported on this not too long ago that it's supposed to be in very, very good supply for the most part. Mm-hmm. We've heard anywhere between like 24 to 35 Jigglypuffs per location. Yeah. However, yesterday a Target ad got leaked saying not only was it Jigglypuff coming in stores, but it was actually a limit of 2 per person instead of 1.
That's very fair. I actually find that very fair, although I can see that working against a lot of people, especially when scalpers are concerned.
My concern at this point, and it wouldn't be an Amiibo newscast if I didn't say my concern.
Yes.
But my concern at this point is you have an orderly line, and you obviously know how many are going to be in the store if the Target employee comes out. But how are you supposed to like organize this with everybody in line saying, are you getting 1? Are you getting 2? Are you getting 2? Are you getting 1? I mean, it makes things overly complicated to me. I think they should have stuck to a 1 per customer rule like every other store did. But I can understand for a lot of people, like parents going in, they have 2 kids, each of them want Jigglypuff or Silver Mario.
I don't think there's any win with this, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, for the most part, I think it will be beneficial for those reasons. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be more difficult when it comes to organization. Yeah. I know that's what people do. When the hardcore fans hit the stores, they talk to each other before they release, and they make arrangements. I mean, it's gotten that far into making sure that everything is in line before the Amiibo are actually available.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be completely realistic about this, though. The parents and the grandparents are generally not the people waiting in line to get these Amiibo for their 2 grandkids. You're going to see scalpers in line. Yeah. I saw it for Meta Knight. I saw it for Rosalina. I saw it for every major retail exclusive that's ever launched. It's a fact of life. People know they can make money on these things. And now the fact that we let them get 2, I think we're going to start seeing just more complications with this. We might see fights in lines. And by fights, probably verbal disagreements. I don't think we're going to see people swinging at each other for a Pokemon Amiibo. But that's just what's about to happen at this point. So just if you are going to Target, be prepared. If you're further back in line, you may not get one.